The Gunniwolf, based on the Appalachian folktale as retold by Margaret Read Macdonald. Adapted and retold here by Laura Schick. This is a story about a little girl who lived with her mother and father in a little house near the edge of the forest. Their house had a little yard surrounded by a little white picket fence, and her parents always told her, "Never go out of the yard into the forest, because if you do, the Gunniwolf might get you." She always promised not to. She had never seen the Gunniwolf, but she heard scary stories about him that said he liked to eat little girls for dinner. So whenever she went outside, she always stayed in her yard, safe inside that little white picket fence. But one day, her parents had to go into town. Before they left, they reminded her, "Don't go out of the yard into the forest because the Gunniwolf might get you. Do you promise?" Well, the little girl promised not to. She didn't want to get eaten by the Gunniwolf. So she played by herself in the yard, safe inside that little white picket fence, when out of the corner of her eye she saw the most beautiful blue flowers. Oh, they were so pretty! And she had a wonderful idea. "I'll pick some flowers for my mother and father to surprise them when they get home from the village." But the blue flowers were just on the other side of that white picket fence. Even though she knew she wasn't supposed to, she just couldn't help it. Besides, she was just going to run out for a second, pick the flowers, and run back in again. The Gunniwolf couldn't possibly get her in so short of a time, so she carefully opened the gate and ran over to pick the flowers. And as she was picking them, she sang a pretty little song. Tra-la-lee, tra-la-la. But then, out of the corner of her eye, she saw the most beautiful red flowers. Oh, they were so pretty, and she thought to herself, those red flowers would look so beautiful next to these blue ones. I'd better go pick some. But the red flowers were just on the edge of the forest. Even though she knew she wasn't supposed to, she just couldn't help it. And besides, it wasn't very far to the edge of the forest. She knew she could still run back to her yard quick if she had to. So she went over to the edge of the forest and started to pick some red flowers too. And as she picked them, she sang her song. Tra-la-lee, tra-la-la. But then out of the corner of her eye, can you guess what she saw? That's right, she saw the most beautiful white flowers. Oh, these were the prettiest of all. And she thought to herself, "Oh, my bouquet will be so perfect with those white flowers too. Won't Mother and Father be so surprised?" But the white flowers were all the way inside the forest. And even though she knew she wasn't supposed to, she just couldn't help it. She ran into the forest to start picking those white flowers, and as she picked them, she sang her song. Tra-la-lee, tra-la-la. Well, she was picking those white flowers when all of a sudden, who do you think came rearing up from behind her? That's right, it was the big, old, mean, scary Gunniwolf. Oh, the little girl was so scared. She stopped singing and just looked at him with big, scared eyes. She didn't even run away. And then the Gunniwolf said in his big, old, mean, scary voice, "Little girl, why did you stop singing? You sing that good sweet song again, or I will eat you up." Well, the little girl was still scared, but what else could she do? She gulped and started singing her song again. Tra-la-lee, Tra-la-la. And the Gunniwolf liked it so much, he put his big head down on his big paws and closed his eyes, and her song put him right to sleep. When she realized the Gunniwolf was fast asleep, the little girl took her chance. She took off running for the edge of the forest. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter, pitter-patter. But when she stopped singing, the Gunniwolf woke up and he came chasing after her. Hunker-jaw, hunker-jaw, hunker-jaw. Oh, he finally caught her right at the edge of the forest, and he said again in his big old mean scary voice, "Little girl, why did you stop singing? You sing that good sweet song again, or I will eat you up." The little girl wanted to get home so bad where she knew she would be safe, so she started to sing her song again. Tra-la-lee, tra-la-la. And again the Gunniwolf put his big head down on his big old paws and closed his eyes, and that song put him right to sleep. Well, the little girl knew what to do this time. She took off running for her yard where she could be safe inside her little white picket fence. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter, pitter-patter. But when she stopped singing, the Gunniwolf woke up again, and he came chasing after her. Hunker-jaw, 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 hunker-jaw. He caught her right before she reached her yard, and again he said in his big old mean scary voice, "Little girl, why did you stop singing? You sing that good sweet song again, or I will eat you up." Oh, the little girl took a deep breath and started to sing her song one more time. Tra-la-lee, tra-la-la. And she was lucky because one more time the Gunniwolf put his big head down on his big old paws, and he closed his eyes, and her song put him right to sleep. This time the little girl kept singing, and she tippy-toed the last few feet into her yard where she was safe. And then, slam! She shut that gate so hard it woke up the Gunniwolf, and when he saw that she was safe inside that little white picket fence, he was so mad he let out a great big roar. But then, because he knew he wouldn't get to eat her anymore, that Gunniwolf went back into the forest. Hunker-jaw, 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 hunker-jaw. When the little girl's mother and father came home that night, they were so happy to see the beautiful flowers that she picked for them. But they were even more happy that she was safe, and that she had learned her lesson and would never go out of the yard or into the forest again. And that is the story of the great big mean old scary Gunniwolf and his favorite song.